spur controls everything. The conversation is dominated by the spurg. Over the next 2 hours or however long they stay sober, you will lose intelligence. Enjoy Theta Thursday. Your hosts, Dawn and Rhea, Mifune, and some shitty guests.
All right. Well, hello.
With a sweater on.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Theta Thursday this week. We are continuing. We have Furnock on here for a CSM interview. How you doing, Furnock?
Just fine and friggin' dandy.
That's great. We also have Sanchki, Ghoster, Dawn, Greg, and Catherine.
You're such a fucking moron.
Yes, I am. Thank you. But yeah, welcome to the show this week. How's everyone feeling today?
Peachy. Just fucking peachy.
I'm eating pasta that I have just made. It's so delicious.
What kind of pasta? What kind of pasta? Urzo?
Did you pasta.
Yes, I mispronunciate names, Don. This is nothing new.
It's calenta. It's not even close.
Yes.
Was that craft dinner? Sanski's?
No. I made this from scratch.
You're glorious.
I made my dinner from scratch.
Call it craft dinner in the States. That's fucked up that they don't call it craft dinner in the States.
Yeah, it is. What do they call it? Mac and cheese or
Mac
something?
And cheese.
It's Kraft mac and cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, it's craft dinner. Fucking craft dinner, bud. Get it in you.
Because Kraft mac and cheese is a side to us, not a dinner. Except for children.
It becomes
deodorant coming in with too much avocado.
That's correct. And if you want to go a little healthy, you dump some frozen peas in there.
Yeah, you're damn straight, man.
The Canadian is just coming out so hard today.
You're getting most of your food groups with that, right?
Yeah. And if you had some ketchup, according to the American food pyramid, that's also a vegetable.
All right.
No, that's a fruit.
I'm laying the gavel down. I'll start with a question. All right. Cal.
No, we have to have the icebreaker question.
Oh.
I'll ask the icebreaker question. Furnock.
Do you know the icebreaker question?
No, I don't know the icebreaker question. What? I didn't hear it. He got talked over.
That's because Ghoster's going to ask the wrong icebreaker question.
Well, I'll answer any question. Any question you want, I'll answer. Any single one. I am an open book.
So the first icebreaker question is always, how do you cut your sandwiches?
I don't cut my sandwiches.
Fucking savages.
Holy shit. Like, none of these CSM members are valid whatsoever.
Okay, hang on a minute. What kind of sandwich are you talking here?
Fucking shit.
There's different types of sandwiches.
You get to pick. Like, if you want to go through some list, you're the only one here, so you're the princess.
Okay, it depends on what type of sandwich I'm making. If I'm making a sandwich with square bread, I don't cut it. I don't give a shit. If I'm making something on like a crusty baguette or something, right down the middle.
Okay. What about a wrap? Do you cut the wraps, or you just like shove the whole thing in your mouth?
A wrap is just a burrito. You fold both ends over and you eat it.
Yeah, you cut a burrito, you're fucking dead to me.
So you deep throat the wraps.
You can't cut a burrito because half the shit falls out.
Exactly. And,
what in the Christ is that?
I also don't cut sushi. I just have a whole sushi roll and I eat it like a burrito. It's more efficient.
That's fucking insane. It's like mental instability.
Sorry, that was my phone.
The Las Vegas roll, please uncut.
Exactly. I got shit to do.
I like my sushi like I like my men. Uncut.
Wow, Ghoster.
Oh god.
It's Pride Month.
When you think about it, sushi, if you wanted to do it au natural, you just take like a mouthful of rice and then a bite full of a fucking rotten raw fish. Yeah, have this full sushi experience.
It's like mouth mixing sushi, right? You just take a scoopful of tuna right from the can, a mouthful of rice, and then I don't know, some caviar, mixing? Some seaweed. Yeah, you mouth mix it. You never mouth mixed a drink? It's a you never heard of a Rhode Island iced tea? It's where you take a swig of Nestee's brisk and then a swig of whiskey.
You're usually doing this when you're lying back in the bar too, right?
Today.
At least that's what I called the Rhode Island iced tea when we were
Furnock, what's your platform?
Oh, my platform is the game should be fun. and right now the game is not fun and hasn't
Fine
been.
fun.
Giving people a reason to log in and enjoy themselves, and
So you want more carrot than stick.
I want more anything. Like, okay, for instance, let me do the background. I was permabanned for 13 years for the game for being a piece of shit.
Don't ever talk down to yourself like that.
I would not for RMTing or any of that. It was for being a giant monster in local. I will freely admit that. I have the receipts. And in 13 years, very little has changed about the game in terms of the stuff you can do to make money, which is fucking insane to me. Like, I was able to belt rat up until they wrecked belts. I was able to belt rat the exact same I did in 2005, and very little has changed there. Anoms, I guess, were new, but like it's still the same shit. Like there's nothing interesting about any.
But what about
non-PvP
Project
stuff.
Discovery?
Oh,
Isn't that new enough?
Oh yeah,
Can
the
you
thing
make money
you
on
do
that?
to give yourself
you
carpal
should get a
tunnel
Marshall.
while waiting for fleets. Like Jesus Christ, like there's
They
something.
give you a built Marshall for doing Project Discovery.
Yeah, 10 bill in your pocket.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
gas mining.
Oh, are we gonna already start that one? Let's let Fernock finish his platform, and then we could get into that rant.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you had something to say.
Well, you know what?
about
I never tried gas mining.
Oh, we'll talk about that later. But I can tell you, short synopsis is it sucks. It is not worth it.
Well, like everything else, like how, like Dawn, I know you love mining, right?
Yes.
But I don't imagine you love how uninteractive the mining is, right?
Well, it's always interactive for me because I'm constantly doing stuff. But I get what you mean. Like it does not require skill.
Yeah, there's nothing interesting. Like even something vaguely stupid, like if you do something at a specific time, you get a slightly larger yield or something. Just anything to make the game a little more interactive, as far as I'm concerned, would be huge.
But didn't you know that they just had an entire huge mining revamp to add quote-unquote meaningful choices to the game? Because you can either use T1 strip miners or faction miners and not interact with the stupid waste mechanic they put in.
Yeah, the way they've made me meaningfully interact with the game is not want to log in, because there's nothing interesting, and they've promised nothing, and they appear to be doing nothing, and have no vision for anything.
So, as a CSM rep, what would be your focus then to try and bring to the table when talking with CCP?
I would just make a mockery of it, them, and everything, because frankly, that's what's going on. Like, they're just, like, every time there's a CSM, the last time I can think of any time a CSM made any meaningful change was 10 fucking years ago.
Don't forget the red dot. Don't let down the red dot.
No, but they...
Oh, the red
CCP...
dot. And, like, every time the CSM, like, they're all bound by an NDA, so by the time they're able to actually talk about anything, it's been 5 friggin' years ago, and nothing's happened. Like, the whole thing's a fucking joke. It's like a high school UN club.
If you could change one thing about Eve, what would it be?
Oh, Christ, I don't know. The PvE entirely?
No, that's not specific enough, boy. Give me a good answer.
One thing. Well, the Zealot should be red, first of all, by default.
That's
it.
Number
one. And you know what? As mostly the whole bring back remote doomsdays thing as a joke, but also it would be great to just very occasionally be able to wipe out an entire friggin' hack fleet and piss somebody off, because, oh my god, what an unbelievably joyless way to play the game.
Big losses like that bring people together, though, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's a big win for one side, all of a sudden, instantaneously, and it's a big loss for the other.
Like, make
but
it
I
cost
think
a lot.
Yeah, but like the more people that die, like even if it's like one person that presses the button gets that joy, right? Like let's say John Hartley doing it. He gets that John Hartley fucking murder boner. But all those people that he kills, they suffer together, right? So that breeds camaraderie. I think anyways. I don't know. I might be wrong.
just so much stuff about the game. It's just nothing has changed in 15 years. Every other MMO has evolved and added systems and stuff. And to me, as someone who started playing in 2005, there's very little about the game that's changed other than the UI, which keeps getting worse somehow.
Well, I mean, look at RuneScape.
Chat servers are kind of shit now too.
Well, they were always shit. They used to crash all the time.
Yeah, but at
RuneScape,
least they were integrated in the game.
Yeah.
RuneScape changed a lot, and they changed so much that the players demanded they boot up an old 2007 instance, which is now the most popular version of RuneScape. Is a more than 20-year out-of-date one.
Well, like see, the problem is sometimes people think that you need to make quality of life changes on like you know what's already there, and so that's why like at some point people are just like, I fucking hate this, and that's why you'll see like the WoW classes and stuff, and it's like I don't want to deal with all of these like WoW pets, and I don't know anything about RuneScape, but I'm sure there was fun stuff in there. I've never played it actually.
The thing that drives me nuts is oh, I completely lost my train of thought. Fuck was I even talking? Where am I?
Well, you're in your house.
Yeah, what was I talking about?
Key Orion says, "What new mechanics would you like to see added?"
No, I'm not a fucking game designer. The people who design the fucking game should be the ones designing the game mechanics, not some person that's elected. It's not my job to design the game. It's up to the people who design the game to design the game. They're hiring a game designer, for Christ's sakes. What does that tell you? They have no idea how their own game works. Like it's not. It shouldn't be up to the players to tell a developer how to develop their game. The players should enjoy the game, and the developers should be giving us things we enjoy. That's how you maintain people playing your game. That's how you get new players. That's it. That was it. The new player thing. They keep pushing all this stuff about, let's get new players. We're going to change the new player experience. But the game's the exact same as it's been 15 years ago. If you tried EVE once 8 years ago and didn't like it, you're not going to try it again now and it's suddenly going to click. It's the same game. So if you know you have players who will come back to the game if there's interesting things going on, as a la The Last War, so do interesting things.
But it's usually the players that create that content, right?
Yeah.
Like when the developers get their fucking dirty little hands in things, they're like, hey, let's do this thing where we have blackout. And that wasn't a good idea, was it?
You mean taking sand out of the sandbox?
Exactly. Here's an idea just off the top of my head. Certain stuff only can happen in certain space now. So you can't produce T2, let's say, specific ships unless you're in specific space. Boom, done. Now you have a reason to fight over space because you want to do X. Maybe it's not a great idea, but all of a sudden now you've given people a reason to do stuff. Just making some reason for people to generate content is good. Like, I mean, what was the last deployment? We went, I've only vaguely been paying attention. We went to, what was it, Faith Abilis to shit on.
So we went to Faith and we were shitting on Fireco and their renting space with XIX because not only did they participate in Vietnam against goons with Pappy, but the big thing is that they are one of the last nullsec alliances in the game to massively rent out regions to people, which is killing the nullsec in general just by fucking owning 9.5 regions and renting it all to alliances that barely have 50 members so they can sit there and crab in safety, and I say that in big air quotes, right? So the whole idea was to burn the renting part down so they can't fucking rent out any more godforsaken space and kill nullsec even more.
But, like, in terms of, like, an existential threat, there wasn't one.
No,
like,
there wasn't. We did it because we can. And that's
because
kind of the
you wanted
part.
something fun to do, right?
Right.
Like, but, like, if you're talking about a game where you have to actually invent a reason to do something to give fun to a whole group of people, which is insane to me. Like, I get the idea of a sandbox, but like, my God, there should be more. There should be something more dynamic going on, and it shouldn't be up to us, the players, to tell the game developer that. It should be the game developer coming up with these ideas.
I will say the danger is if you have the game developer a little too involved with how Eve actually is, you run the risk of them getting in the way of some of the stories that we kind of end up creating on our own. So it's kind
It
of
would help if they played their game, right?
But you can make changes en masse. Like, hey, we're going to do this. All of a sudden, all this stuff is different. Mining yields are different. Cycle time on this is different. Abilities on this ship are different. It's going live. We're going to test it out for a month on CC. Let's see how this goes. Do that. See how people respond. See how it works out. Go, okay, scrap that. But you can do stuff like that. You have a damn test server. Just try shit. Make a duplicate of the Caracol that's T1 that has different bonuses. Just try that out. Put stuff in there. Do things a little more dynamically interesting. I mean, for God's sakes, in 13 years, they've added, 14 ships? Like, come on. It's depressing.
Oh, no, I agree. Let's see. So, we've asked a couple of different candidates this. If you get on the CSM or, had the opportunity, who would you most want to work with? It can be a CCP person or another possible CSM candidate.
Christ, I don't know. I haven't done any of my research. I don't even know who any of the CCP people are.
You're such a great candidate.
Why would I want... Like, I don't know. Falcon, CCP, do they still work there?
No.
Sure, why not?
No? What about Ovur?
No.
Are they still here or no?
I don't even know who that is.
All right. Isn't that French for open?
He was the guy who banned me originally. I want to work with him.
So, if your baloney had a first name, what would it be?
Oh, God.
I could say that on stream.
Clearly.
Oh, thanks, Greg, for the November surprise there, live on stream. Oh, I just want to show off to all the viewers my my shirt.
Okay, he's got pants.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we're just for those that tuned in and weren't expecting it. We're fucking morbid tonight, boys.
So I just as a tangent, I gotta go an aside. Have you heard about my Morbius war I'm engaged with a friend of mine?
No, I haven't. What's going on?
So me and my girlfriend basically shanghaied him into seeing Morbius. I said, I bought you a ticket. We're going to see Morbius. And we showed up at his house and we dragged him to it. And it was extremely a movie. And then a week later, I snail mailed him 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. The word Morbius printed in 12 font. I just snail mailed it. So he gets this letter, opens it up, and it just says Morbius. And he doesn't react, which is a nightmare for a troll like me. And then I get, a week later, a 25-page erotic fan fiction about Morbius that he has replaced the other character's name with my name. So,
oh my God.
So from there, I escalate. I buy him a black mug that when you pour hot water in, color changes, and it was the Morbius font all around it. He escalated and bought me this T-shirt. So while I was at his house... Sorry, go ahead.
What's your next move now, then?
Oh, there is one. At his house last week, we were over there drinking and playing some old video games. I printed off I think I might have some. No, I got rid of them. Anyway, I printed off the Morbius logo 30 to 50 times, and I hid them all over his house. And I did it so surreptitiously, my girlfriend said, I thought you were going to hide all those things over his house. And I'm like, oh, no, I did. And first thing in the morning, at like 8 in the morning, he's like, did you fucking do this? And he sent me a picture of the inside of his fridge where I hid one under his oat milk. And then like a little while later, he's like, oh my God. And he found one under his coffee pot. He's only found about 70% of them. So I don't know how he's going to respond to this, but... Yeah. I'm in a Morbor.
Oh, dear Lord. Also, I've just noticed this Penguin Bacon is subscribed for 68 months.
Oh, one more month.
One more month, man.
It's not the longest, which I believe is Carneros in the 70s plus now.
No, but I thought Carneros was over 100 months.
No, he was.
Was it?
He was
No.
in the 70s.
No, but that
Greg,
was. I could have sworn it was more than that. But anyway. But yes, one more month, Penguin, and then you have the magic number.
Greg, what's the cat's name? I've seen your cat before, but I never found out its name.
White Sheldon.
Oh, that's a good cat name.
One
He's
more.
named after that guy from The Big Bang Theory.
I see. So, speaking of ham, there's a cat that keeps invading my house in the neighborhood. Like, I'll open the door and this cat will just, like, run inside, and the only thing this cat will eat is, like, processed ham. Won't eat anything. We bought cat treats, we bought, like, tried tuna and everything. Nothing. Not just processed ham. We have no idea whose cat it is, so we just call the cat Ham.
Ham cat.
Ham cat.
Ham
Like
cat.
my cat with fucking prosciutto. My cat loves prosciutto and he can hear it across the house and he comes bounding towards me.
You have a fancy cat if it likes prosciutto.
I'm a fancy lady.
When I worked at Wendy's, we had a stray cat that we named Toothless because she was missing a tooth, and she would eat our chopped up grilled chicken. So we feed her every day.
Chicken cat.
They call her Wendy.
When I was in high school, Calanth, my mom bought a whole bunch of prosciutto for some things she was making and forgot to buy lunch meat. And being a dumb 13-year-old, I didn't know what it was, and I put like $28 worth of prosciutto on.
Oh my god!
Some good sandwiches, man.
It was good. It was really salty. But my mom was like, "Where's all the prosciutto?" And I'm like, "What's prosciutto?" She's like, "There was like meat in the drawer here." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I put that on a sandwich." She was like, "What?"
I have like 40 inflamed taste buds from like all the salt. And you're like, "What's prosciutto?"
Getting gout at 14.
Oh dear lord.
Hell yeah.
I like.
What other questions? Keep them coming. Let's go.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite color?
Ecru.
Why?
Oh, it's the color eggs.
So apparently, in high school, you dated a girl named Melody.
Melody? No.
All right. Okay. My information was incorrect then. Sorry. You can move on from there.
Oh dear lord. So, how do you feel your chances are for getting on the CSM?
0%.
Okay.
Fuck yeah.
Fucking
That's
Ralph
a winner
Nader.
right there.
I'm Ralph Nader here. I'm hoping to steal some votes from a good candidate to tank their campaign.
Oh, okay.
That's what.
So you should
Good
file
strategy.
under
You're like, we're just
thing.
gonna spread out the votes so that way, somebody who just happens to have one base wins over, even though their base may be smaller.
I'm like Bob Barr, except less libertarian. It's a 2000 election joke for you there. Very dated reference.
I'm trying.
Good
to
timely
think,
humor.
what did we? What did we ask them last week?
What kind of products do you use in your mustache? Do you use like
Oh
a
my
mustache
God.
conditioner?
Well, I lick it a lot.
Yeah, that works. It's nature's conditioner.
Yeah, like saliva, snot, mucus, phlegm, whatever. You just comb it through. Eventually, it hardens up, rock hard, and you can use it to grate cheese.
That's what
Got a
she
rock
said.
hard mustache.
Oh no.
I feel like Furnock has one of those mustaches that just like screams, "I am a cop," but then his attitude makes me feel like he would fit right in with Super Troopers.
Oh, I'm not going to say it, but let's just so everybody's clear.
I'm too stupid to understand what the hell you just did. Don't
worry about it. Calanth got it.
I got it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, okay. So any other jokes you'd like to further alienate our audience, please do them now. So we can get them out of the way.
Splat got it. He understands. He's solidarity with us.
Hell yeah.
I'm going to have to Google this, aren't I?
Furnock, you're the public relations officer for Delta Squad. Could you tell us a little bit about Delta Squad and what the Delta Squad does?
Basically, well, Delta Squad started out as a monster truck newsletter, and it just kind of got wildly out of hand. And then we started a website, and the website was mostly designed to serve pop-up ads and pop-under ads, and pop-up and pop-under ads with sound. It was designed to use ActiveX controls to keylog, and that's basically what Delta Squad is about. We're about keylogging. You steal passwords for banking. We run a very brisk trade in stealing NFTs. We have a couple of crypto scams we're brewing in the background, but it's mostly... Delta Squad is mostly about stealing NFTs and reselling them to sell drugs at high schools and to sell arms and conflict diamonds. That's basically... Have
you got any good NFTs yet? Like, what about that Dirty Ape or whatever it's called? Have you sold one of those?
Delta Squad is behind the theft of the ape from Seth Green, that he was designing a TV show around his ape, but we're behind that.
But
how does one join?
Who wants to watch something with Seth Green in it anyway?
Yeah, his time's passed, right?
That's That's the real question, man. It's like, yeah, let's go see that new movie. Seth Green's in it.
I don't think anybody in the history of mankind has ever said, "Let's go see that new Seth Green movie."
Exactly, right?
Can't Hardly Wait. Do not Can't Hardly Wait.
But that wasn't a Seth Green movie.
Sure it was.
Who was the lead in that? Wasn't it What's Her Head?
That one chick
Seth
at
Green?
that one time?
No, like whoever's on the cover of the DVD is the lead.
The
right?
no-name people that we clearly remember.
Oh, Jennifer. That's a Jennifer Love Hewitt movie.
Is she in that? I only remember
God.
Seth Green.
Whatever happened to her? She dead?
No, she was on some. She was on some TV show where she was like a psychic.
Charmed.
Oh my
No,
god!
she was on it was The Medium, I think it was called.
Yeah, she's like
that was
some sort
her?
of psychic.
She was also in a show where she lost her job and like her husband left her or died or something, right? And she was like a normal mom, and she's like, or like a normal masseuse, and she needed to make some more money.
Wait,
so
what?
She started working at this massage parlor where they did,
That's right.
happy endings.
Yeah.
And so she made extra money but she's trying to navigate. She never slept with clients. It was always just like hand jobs basically. But like people start asking why she's making all this money and stuff. I made it like 10 episodes in. And I was like, what the fuck am I watching? Because it would be, the show is written and kind of like directed as if it was on like ABC Family. But it's about a mom who's giving hand jobs at the end of some of her massages.
To what end? Like, what did she like jack her way through college?
What do you mean?
No, she's
What do you mean to
her
what
husband.
end? Everybody knows what a hand job is for.
Well, I understand that, but like, I mean, she's making all this fucking surplus income. What's she doing with it? She's not saving up for a rainy day.
No, she had to save up just to take care of her family because like I think her husband either left her or died, and so she needed money to be able to afford the big house they have and her 2 kids, and
did her husband die because he wasn't getting enough hand jobs?
Oh, and the thing is, as I said, like
pent up sexual frustration.
It's a very wholesome show, and like it's a really weird concept with a very wholesome show. The way it's written and stuff, it just feels like I'm watching Seventh Heaven with like a massage prostitute, and I don't know what's happening. Like it's really weird.
I do remember vaguely that Gawker used to have a weekly article series called "Who Jennifer Love Hewitt Jerked Off This Week" about that show.
That's amazing.
Yeah. What is it, like a Love Boat thing where they like a special guest Andy this week?
It's called The Client List.
Guest starring whoever.
Abe Vigoda.
Starring Seth Green.
Jacked off fish.
Man, I found Seth Green on the cover of the movie for Can't Hardly Wait is the most 90s
her
looking
husband
thing I've ever
abandons
seen.
her.
See, he is on the cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it says her husband abandons her and their children, leaving her in financial debt, accepts work at a day spa in her small Texas town, but refuses when she learns that for some clients, the masseuses provide more than massages. But pressed to support her children, she relents and earns extra money through unspecified erotic services.
Can you imagine the pitch for that? Somebody going to Lifetime and being like, "Let's do weeds, but rural Texas and handjobs."
Hey, Netflix would pick up that deal in an instant, and so would HBO, man. HBO needs another.
I'm sorry. We probably should. I'm sure Life Shifter is gonna yell at us for bringing up. I'm just like, someone said Jennifer Love Hewitt, and it was the weirdest show that I know she's been in. So I just sorry we got onto that.
Furnock, how many hand jobs would you give to get on CSM?
Greg, no.
Greg, no.
No.
Maybe a couple.
Just to the right people. You wouldn't do like a hand job per vote, would you?
Oh my god, Greg.
There's a good spot behind the Denny's next to the dumpster. That's it's real romantic.
I did want to because I did want to spend some of the show talking about because we've reviewed Furnock a little bit, and we'll bring more questions out as we think of them. But I know that the GEF deployment has officially started wrapping up, and I just wanted to poll everyone in here and see what you think is going to be our next step. Like, do we have a new, if you could choose the next deployment area, where would you choose?
Oh, Christ, I don't know. Frat would be fun, but time zone, right?
See, so. I feel like the thing is, it's just and I'm gonna end up being completely wrong. And I swear to God, if Costa Check's in the chat, or if Sniper Eagle's in the chat, I'm about to get yelled at. But I swear to God, I'm going to say that Fraternity is going to try to go to war with Dracarys. Like, we're already seeing them poking the bear, and I just, 2 years ago I had a premonition that Test may try to go against Goons again, and I got called a fucking idiot, and then look what fucking happened.
Premonition.
So I'm calling this premonition again. Fraternity is gonna try to knock out the other Chinese competition, and I have a feeling that's gonna be our next little fucking smackdown, is with Frat. And that'll be absolutely fucking hilarious, considering just this morning they decided to bring AB Hacks to a fight for a defensive fort timer. Fought 60 kilometers away from their escape gate. Fucking fed hard.
I think it's a good answer if we fight it in their space, though, just because the time zone's different.
No, if we fight it in their space, but that's the thing. Why the hell would we go to Frat space? We have to get through P-Horde space to even get there, right? So it's like, why would we go to them when they can come to us, and they already are? They tried to anchor a fort in Catch and failed. It's hilarious.
I think most importantly, we're on the cusp right now of a whole lot of money making.
Yes, the Delve Time unit is back, baby.
I'd like to beg to differ on that one, but details here.
I think there should be a world tour. Just get everybody and go to all the old.
Everyone
go
go to the left. Yeah.
just
start attacking whatever's left of you.
Yeah. I mean, I would say deck because I never ever got to shoot a Garistas rat, and I've never been north. So let's go north.
So did you miss the entire Declan life?
He was gone for 13 years. He said.
I was permanently banned.
Part of me was like, I kind of want to go to Declan. Like, I kind of want us as an alliance to go back to Declan because I feel like that would be really fun, being squished right in between P-Horde, NC Dot, and Frat. I feel like that would be a lot of easy content to fight with.
I'm sad that we won because it would have been more fun if we'd lost and had to go do something else.
That's what I'm saying. Rebuilding Goonswarm from the ground up, exactly like they did after Saarinen. I was happy we won the war just because Test lost from it, But I honestly wish I had something more to do than sit in 1DQ and twirl my fucking ship.
There's plenty to do.
What, you mean abyssals? Reactions?
No, there's tons of fucking content in Declan. in Delve.
Oh, right.
As long as you undock to go find whoever's roaming through our space. There are little fights.
Fair enough.
I mean, K6 is constantly fucking active, and we're constantly killing people in there.
Bring back Quirius Fight Club. I think that's a good
that doesn't exist anymore.
I know, but they should bring it back.
Bring back a you know what we need? We need a fucking neutral null block entity again. Like, I'm not saying exactly CVA or exactly Provi block, but we need another entity like that to shake the politics up, right? Or we just need, in general, we need another null power hour to, like, grow.
You know what needs to
shake
happen?
some shit up.
And I'm pretty confident about what I'm about to say because I've been thinking about this for a while, and I was investigating this. Is the topic of Pochven, right? No one wants to talk about it. It's the spooky guy in the room. But if you look at any economics, you'll see that the people in Pochven getting a little too comfortable there, making a little too much money, and it's mostly Pappy kind of taking control. Well, that's the next shakeup. Is gonna be some fucking shit in Pochven, and I'm also got a little gang together to take care of this problem soon. So if you fraternities listen to this, and however you may be listening to this, I don't know how that works, but we're coming for you because frankly, Pochven, they're way too fucking comfortable in there. There's way too much money and there's not enough competition.
Well, here's the thing, right? Like when you look at Pochven, like after Niar's returned, and you kind of, I guess you would say, look at the history of what's happened since like Pochven became a thing, right? Was that originally you could anchor structures in there and like actually build something, right? You couldn't take Sov, but you could put down like an Astro House or something for your group to farm it, and then they disabled that feature completely, so you could no longer anchor Upwell Citadel in Pochven anymore. And then after that change, the day that change was announced, Gobbins and Fraternity both got together and decided that they were going to clear out Pochven entirely and take over every NPC station in Pochven. And that's exactly what they do. So what they do is they just camp the fucking stations and then run their sites, right? Like, the only real way that Pochven is going to be what it was supposed to be, the only way that you're going to get people to stop saying fuck Pochven is to enable Upwell structures in there, make the PvP more prominent so that you can actually kick the other guy out of there, right? Like, we have a whole big...
It is unique that they don't allow structures in there and that you need to have standings to use the buildings that are in the space. That is a unique aspect of Pochven. And unless they want to change the structures or limit like size or something, that's a discussion we can have. I don't think that, with what the idea was for Pochven, that they should take away structures or like that they should put structures back in. That I think that the way they have it now is okay. Because it's kind of like the space needs something unique other than being just a weird hodgepodge of wormholes and shit.
The thing is,
No,
because the thing is that especially when it comes to 0-0 space, which is how Pochven is literally just nullsec, but you can't take sovereignty, right? The thing is, and as we know, especially here in Goons, you can't kick somebody out of NPC space. It's impossible to kick somebody out of... It's impossible to kick somebody out of something like Stain. NPC Delve, it's impossible to kick somebody out of there, right? Just because of the way that NPC null space works. If somebody has taken control of all of those NPC stations, like by using N+1 and camping and all those other different tactics, right? It is damn near impossible to get those people out of there. Right? And the thing that Pochven needs to make it worthwhile is that constant shift of power, right? You can't just have one null block or one small group like Sturbogs or whatever the fuck they were called, right? They can't, right? You can't have one person dominate all of Pochven, which is why it's dead in there, is because P-Horde dominates that entire fucking space because they took advantage of the change that was made to Pochven. The only way you're gonna get them out is by either making the N+1, which would be almost damn near impossible unless you add an entire GEF deployment there, right? Or you put player-owned structures back in Pochven to promote change of power and conflict.
Mifune, did you get highlights in your hair?
No, I did not.
Huh.
I have a lot of lights on in my room.
All right. You know what? I don't know shit about Pochven. I don't care to know. It's to me, it's just something that, again, something new, which is cool, but it doesn't fix any of the problems. Doesn't make the game more fun.
Well, no, it doesn't. The thing with Pochven is that Pochven was something new. It was a new area of the game. It shook things up like the Nyarja change, right?
Yeah, that's to me, that's good. And
yeah,
they should be doing more stuff like that. Not
I agree.
One thing once 2 years ago. And
I agree, but that's also the problem with Pochven at the same time, though, is that it's a half-finished project that got fucked over, right? And now it's not gonna get any. It's not going to get any love, and in 10 years, just like Faction Warfare, someone's going to come back and be like, oh, remember this thing we introduced but never finished, and it never got love for years upon years? Well, now we're going to give it some love. Give it the love it needs now, in addition to creating new shit. Like, there isn't one area that CCP has to focus on at a time. They can work on multiple projects and all get them out at the same time. We can get a new expansion. We can get new ships. We can get a new faction. We could do all that at the same time of fixing Pochven. Because the only thing you need to fix Pochven is re-enable the ability to anchor small structures. Especially with the structure change of the shield timers, having the ability to just anchor Astra houses in Pochven is enough to shake it up to where it needs to be.
All right, well, the Pochven is kind of a terrible place, and I've just accepted that it'll never be anything that I ever will enjoy engaging in.
What if they had really good mining there, Don? What if they had like old school Oracle mining there in Pochven? Would you go there?
That's a great idea.
They already have the best. They have Spod there. But it's too much. It's too difficult. And this actually is a great segue into what I tried this week. Not necessarily for the first time, but really for like the first time of trying to get a setup going, was just doing basic gas mining and nullsec. And guys, I got a report. It's shit.
You and Chippewa did that, didn't you?
Me and another player. It took us. Now, granted, the first like half an hour was kind of me just like getting my ship out of Thera and moving around stuff. But it took us 2 hours just to find a cloud, set up with get all our ships there that we wanted to use, and start mining.
Then
2 hours.
Like damage the living shit out of your ships the whole time you're doing it.
Yeah, but you can set up fits where it's a passive regen, so you're not going to die unless like you get really unlucky with the cloud burst, and even then. Just stop mining for a minute, heal, and then just go back at it.
And gas is only used for drugs, right?
No,
Generally?
you use it for capitals.
Jesus H Christ!
They added a ton of gas stuff to capital building.
Well, the gases that you need for capital building. So the gases that are important to capital building can only be found in C5s and C6s, and the majority of them, for max profit, you have to ninja mine it, which means you have to stop huffing halfway through it when the rats spawn, and then you just go away and find another site.
Yeah, so we were doing a site, and there were rats in the site already. Okay, we were like, oh my god, now I got to get more ships. So he went and got his paladin, pew pew pew, shot all the rats, and then we go over the mine, and within like 3 minutes, a whole another wave of like giant battleships showed up. We were like, fuck. So we had to wait another like 5 to 10 minutes for him to clear those out, and so he just left his paladin on grid with its repper going. And apparently that keeps it from spawning stuff. I don't know. It just did not want to show up when the paladin was on grid.
Is it profitable, Don?
Well, okay, so like the sites in nullsec, you're gonna find can get up to 200 mil for a site. But considering with boosts, now they weren't max boosts, but there were still boosts happening. We only got through one cloud in an hour and like 10 minutes, with 2 of us mining it.
What do you estimate? That'd be worth.
Well, maybe about 50 mil each, roughly, give or take.
Oh my god!
But you need that shit to build stuff with, right?
Yeah, I don't know. So then, Now, this is just nullsec mining in our home space. This is in Delve, where I'm not worried about someone catching me. I'm not worried about dying. I've got plenty of buildings. I've got a giant market to go buy whatever I need right there. And it took us 2 hours to get set up, and we only could mine for about an hour and 10 minutes or so before it was bedtime. I know that it'll go a little bit faster the next time just because I already have a lot of the setup done, but it is shit. It is not the same experience as regular mining. I couldn't scan down the gas sites, might I add here. In a prospect, I couldn't scan them, and I had decent skills. We had to go get a heron with max stuff to be able to scan some of these gas sites down. It was ridiculous.
I will agree. So the when it comes to scanning, especially for things like gas sites, there's the scanning levels, and the higher the difficulty of level, the higher generalized scanning skills you need. And for a lot of things, especially when that scanning difficulty is at 3, when you're trying to scan down nullsec gas sites, when you're trying to scan down interceptors, scanning down frigates, right? Most of the time you need an actual scanning ship like a Heron or an Anathema, and it is kind of... I wouldn't say broken, but it's one of those things that you need either an alt for or a secondary ship for, and you shouldn't.
Right, but so to give you an idea, to try and mine a single gas cloud. Now this wasn't a low end gas cloud per se. But I know where some of the nice gas is. So I was like, okay, let me try and find it. So we needed I'm going to go over the ships. We needed a Heron to scan it, or some kind of scanning chip. We needed a Paladin to kill the rats. We needed a booster. And we needed a capital to haul everything around in. We needed a structure to be able to dock said capital in while we're doing everything. And then we also needed our mining barges, which also has to we have to have compression on one of the ships. And it's just we needed 6 to 7 ships just to mine gas. With some sort of money making options. It was just what the fuck is this shit? That's why I hate when anyone tries to make the argument of, we added more gas in the game. I'm like, it's not a fun experience for anybody. And I can't even imagine trying to do this in wormholes.
Yeah, but it promotes teamwork.
I want to propose. I want to pose something, and because I'm ignorant of this, as I wasn't around for the time of plenty, so just so if I'm wrong here, correct me. Rorquals, when they were around during the time of plenty, could just rip through. You just get a shit ton of minerals, right? There was the big spod rocks or something. And you could just whip through them and then get a shit ton of stuff. Okay. They've changed how expensive everything is now, correct? It's bigger chains, different parts, more complicated building for capitals, yada, yada, yada. If things went back to the way they were before, but the same build costs and everything were there, would it be balanced? Or no?
What, the build cost now for Rorqual's ability back then?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Would it be slightly more balanced, or would you still be able to whip up a Titan for 40 bill?
Well, if you took a Rorqual from when they first put them in with their changes into today's world,
yeah,
most of the stuff you need for capitals comes from bullshit. So mining a bunch of minerals means nothing. So I don't know why Rorquals are still shite.
Yeah, see, that's my argument. You've nerfed something, you've nerfed 2 things for no reason, essentially. You could, if you did one or the other, it would almost seem to be some sort of steady state. But you've basically just stomped 2 things in the ground for no reason. I don't know. Doesn't. To me, my whole argument is fun, and that if you like to do both of those things, now you are no longer having fun because there's less reason to do either of those things. Every time you take something from someone, they don't want to do it anymore. So why would they log in? Why would they recommend the game to somebody? You know what I mean?
I agree with Fernok.
Just the ideas I have are just start making more versions of ships. You don't even have to fucking design new ships. Just make more hulls. Make a fucking assault destroyer. Make a destroyer that can fit medium guns. Boom, new ship. That'll be fun. Bunch of catalysts with fucking railguns. That'll be great.
Thrashers with medium arty, that'd be fantastic. Do stuff like that.
Bring some laser ravens.
Yeah, just do something like an idea I had, which again could be completely stupid. I don't know. I'm not a fucking nerd. I don't know anything about this goddamn game. Make a module that allows you to sacrifice one slot somewhere or 2 slots somewhere to add 2 slots elsewhere. So like you abandon a couple of high slots to give a couple of low slots or a couple of mid slots. Make it so it's a module you fit that allows you to do that, and just make some ships more dynamic.
Oh my god, that would make fitting craft even that much more hard.
It would make fitting craft more hard, but it would make the game more dynamic. Like people forget.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. It's just like, man, fitting's a headache already. That'd be crazy if you can like put a rig on and you get an extra high slot or something.
Well, that's just the idea. That's the idea of tier 3 cruisers and turning that with every other ship.
With that. Yeah, they did that. Like, make it so there's one thing you can do that changes something around. Like, people forget when the game, way back in the day, like things were so much more dynamic in terms of high slots with what you could do, because you could fit NOS, and that would mean you didn't have to use anything for cap regen, because you were just siphoning cap off somebody else. And the fits you could do were more fun and weird, because you didn't have to worry about regen and stuff. Like, people forget how much goddamn fun it was to fly a curse with old NOS. You were just this one-man wrecking crew. It was fun. Like, for Christ's sakes, the best ship I ever flew in this game was the Comedy Dom, which was an all-nano, low Dominix, all jammer mids, all NOS highs, and you would just slam into someone over and over while jamming them while your drones shoot them apart, and they screamed at you in local. It was the most fun I ever had in this game.
You know, that reminds me, my most favorite ship in EVE is the Ashimu, because it's designed in a way where you cannot fly it unless you are siphoning cap off someone. Even if that means siphoning cap off blues. Like, it is useless unless it is constantly eating someone else's cap. It's just a complete vampire of a ship.
You know, I have this one fit that I got from Extra Squishy right before he quit EVE. And I'll tell you what, I've been having so much fun doing these fleets. You take 20 Vexers, all with newts and sentry drones, and you fight in an ESS grid, and especially in Horde space, when they just YOLO Vargers and Nightmares into the fucking ESS for defense instead of, like, getting a fleet together. It's so funny. I think I took one out, like, last week, and we killed a Kronos, we killed a Hyperion, we killed a Vogger, and it was like 7.8 billion ISK and shit that we murdered in like 2 minutes with sentry drones and neutralizers on a T1 Vexer, right?
That's what we did with our cowbell fleet.
Yeah.
When we used to cannon, they had that AJI bait beacon, and we used to cannon to it, and then it was like, yeah. Like,
no, it's like
it's so much more fun when you do weird dynamic fits, but like,
exactly.
It's become so rigid. It's just Munins online.
Well, hack meta is just
online.
Hacks need to go into the fucking ground, and we all know that, and that's just something universal that every EVE player in the universe is feeling. But I also feel like we need new ships, right? Like, Edencom is so neglected. Why not give us an Edencom ECM fucking ship? You know? ECM that lightnings between ships at random in the pack, you know? Something new. You know, give us our Angels cap, our fucking Sisters of Eve cap, you know? Like, give us new fucking ships and expand the lore.
Just something, you don't even need to add new holes. That's the thing, you know? Like, it's, I don't know.
Make the lore not confusing. I love lore. I'm a lore guy, but EVE, I am just fucking clueless on it. It doesn't make any sense.
The thing with EVE lore, the thing that's confusing about EVE lore, and I'm not too much into EVE lore, so if there is a lore whore here that wants to start talking about it in the chat, feel free. But I feel when it comes to EVE Online lore, the thing is that you have all the factions and like their linear fucking path in the lore. And some of them kind of intersect, but then separate again, and then that's what gets confusing because the story itself does not intertwine.
I'll say this: an MMO that has comprehensible lore doesn't really seem to exist. Like, try to explain WoW's lore to someone without watching their eyes glaze over immediately.
That's a really good point. Yeah, MMOs are hard to make lore about.
Yeah, like, I mean, if you're going by lore, canonically, Doctor Who exists in EVE now, so great.
Does anyone know any MMO that has genuine good lore? No.
I mean, Guild Wars. Just to throw a name out there, I thought the Guild Wars story was pretty good.
Guild Wars?
14s is I mean, FF14s is extremely JRPG, but I mean, it's
Final Fantasy XIV is more of a single player game with slight bare minimum MMO mechanics. It's other than that, it's just a single player game. So I don't count Final Fantasy XIV just because of that straight fact.
I got one. That Star Citizen. The lore is the guy fucking raised so much money that he could actually make the ships IRL and fly to the stars.
Star Citizen lore is just blow on Blu-ray.
Like, Star Citizen gets, like, I get the hate between Star Citizen, but the last time I tried Star Citizen, which was probably a solid 6 months ago, I actually had, for the week I played it, I had a lot of fun. I played it for a week. I eventually did get bored at the end of that week, but it was a pretty fun week. And I would say if you got the fucking $40 to throw at the cheapest ship, go ahead and play it for a week if you're bored out of your fucking mind.
What's his dip? Ron, USMC Ron or whatever was playing Star Citizen for a while. I remember that.
Well, the thing is that recently it's got a lot of replayability right now, because they finally introduced the currency system. So now you have like an actual rotating economy of being able to grind out missions, gain currency, and then buy ships with the in-game currency rather than spend $2,000 on the luxurious fucking huge yacht. You can actually buy it.
It took them 11 years to add the most basic MMO feature.
I mean, look, I shit on Star Citizen for its time too. I will agree it's a huge part of what like makes you not want to play Star Citizen. But I'm just gonna say it. If you look past the fact that it's taken 15,000 years for the game to even remotely look like a video game, it's actually pretty fun. Like I'll hop on there with a few friends for a few hours, grind out some of the basic missions they got, and have a little bit of a laugh, you know?
I think we're about to ready to wrap up here.
Oh yeah.
I get bored with V Rising, which is a pretty fun game if y'all haven't tried it. V Rising's pretty good.
See, V Rising to me, I've played so much Diablo and so much Valheim, I just can't even touch V Rising. I played it for a couple hours and I was just like, eh.
Oh man, you said Valheim and you made my nipples hard. I fucking love that game.
Was it good? I never played it.
Valheim was really good.
Oh geez, that's a good game. I mean, it's subjective. I'm just being subjective. My opinion is I fucking love that game. Probably one of my most favorite games.
Maybe I'll check it out. I missed it on the original wave, but I mean, I dig the whole progression survival boss fight.
If you like Rust, you'll love Valheim. That's the only thing I really can say.
We should give a shout out, Ghoster.
You're muted.
Oh, Ghoster started a Scum server.
Oh yeah, Scum's a great game.
Scum? What's Scum?
Scum is a lot like Rust, from what I understand, right, gentlemen?
Similar, but better.
Probably right.
Oh, it's a naked dude in this image.
Yeah, there's a lot of cock in the game.
You can play with your dick size or your breast size, male or female. There are such things as cock socks in the game. They're a lot of fun too.
Well, this looks like the graphics and animations are better than Rust.
The graphics are significantly better. The game's in early access. They've been bringing out updates about monthly. There's vehicles, planes, weapons, survival. They go pretty in depth into fuel, food, metabolism, shit, stuff like that. Base building.
I put a link to your server there, Ghoster, in Twitch chat. So if anybody wants to play with us, we're on every day.
That's pretty good. The top review on Steam is, I love when it's like 800 hours, not recommended. Like, oh, okay, sure thing, man.
I mean, there may be a reason why they're recommending it, because they're like, it will suck your soul out.
All right.
Yeah, that's
really we're gonna move on to final thoughts. Brisk is ready to raid Rampage. So, Ghoster, what's your final thought?
Fernok Dorn for CSM. I think pretty similarly to how the game used to be, how the game is still stuck in the current state of disrepair, unfunness. We never plugged bringing mines back to the game, and
bring mines back.
Smash rocks. I mean, let's go put a fucking anti-personnel mine on a gate and watch ships blow up.
Hell yeah.
Those have been missing from the game almost since its existence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my final thought.
Also, bring back AoE torpedoes.
Yes, please.
Those were so fun.
We need shit that, like, you land somewhere and now you're dead.
Mm-hmm.
You want risk, you want shit to die, give me fucking mines. That's all.
Alright, Cal, your final thought?
Yeah, what they said.
Yeah!
Fernok, your final thought?
The Zealot should be red. Bring back mines. And I heard CCP on stream, they're like, oh, you can put the serum skin on. No, that's not the Zealot is red.
There we go, apparently.
If I put a black t-shirt on, I am not a black person. I am a white person wearing a black shirt. The Zealot putting on a red skin is a Zealot wearing a red skin. The Zealot is not red. It is wearing a red shirt. The Zealot should be red.
Frisk was tricked. He was jebaited. We've been bamboozled.
All right. I don't really have a final thought myself, other than I hope everybody has a great week. Anyone else have anything else they desperately want to say so he can raid us over?
I want to give a shout out to Casey Downs. He's a good buddy of mine, and he's a good member of Sundering and of the Alliance. Cheers, Casey.
One of the nicest Eve players you'll ever meet.
He really is. He's far too nice for any of us.
Also, shout out.
We don't deserve him.
Shout out to everybody. If you get a chance, check out B.A. Johnston. He's a Hamilton legend, a folk singer. He sings very funny songs. If you get a chance, check out How Many T-Bone Steaks Can I Fit Into the Waistband of My Pants? It is about stealing from work. It is a good song. Check him out.
And if CCP happens to be listening, if the problem with mines is that you don't have enough RAM in TQ to put them back in the game,
oh, we'll crowdfund some RAM for you.
I'll buy it for you.
Can they just download some RAM?
Yeah, they can just download free RAM on Google.
Yeah, it's 2022.
Yeah.
Who buys RAM anymore?
Yeah,
exactly.
you just
You
lease
stream it.
All right, well, I think we're ready. Risk, finally.
I love you, Britt.
Let's rock and roll.
He's been tricked
Thanks,
enough.
everybody.
Thanks, everybody. Hope you have a wonderful week.
Bye.
See Morbius again.
Get Morbin.
Please don't.
No, really, you got to see it at least 10 times, man. If you
Yeah.
haven't seen Morbius 10 times, you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah,